Okay. All right. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. And oh yes, it feels good to be back. I was gonna say, welcome to another Rich Man Reactions, but this is not reactions. This is Tuesday. We are live. Where I want to welcome you to a live review. And apologies for the folks who have been watching and honestly have been following my videos. Honestly, thank you so much. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I cannot stress the importance of that. I'm honestly really pushing to get to this milestone of 9K and then hopefully onto 10K. Not hopefully, we will get to 10K. But most importantly, yes, it feels good to do a live again. And yeah, we're gonna get this underway. So on this one, folks, I'm gonna get straight to it. It's been a long time. Kind of, it's so weird. Like from doing like just editing videos and then to do it live, it's like you got to kind of change. You got character. You got to change your character sometimes. You got more time to fumble. So it is really nice to be in this setting again. So I was just having that feeling. I had that itch honestly at that itch like on my body that said I had to do a review. And honestly, I was just watching a clip from, believe it or not, it was I believe it was Howard Stern show, and I saw Jamie Foxx on his show just talking about his star. He's kind of like break in the Hollywood. Honestly, he auditioned for Jeremy Maguire. Unfortunately, he didn't get it. Cuba Gooding Jr. ended up getting the role, and he did spectacular in the show me the money. Awesome. So because of that, I saw that, and when I watched that clip with Jamie Foxx, I was just like, man, it'd be so cool to review the Jamie Foxx show. I was just thinking about it because just to go back for a lot of people who don't know, like I'm originally born in the United Kingdom. Yeah, my accent is like so different. I'm like Canadian, UK, USA, whatever. My accent's like all over the place. I was born in the UK. But when they showed these series like the Jamie Foxx show, Moesha, the Fresh Prince of Bel Fresh Prince of Bel was the first one that was shown. That was like it had this block, Fresh Prince and Simpsons together. So they showed that together. That was the first like black kind of sitcom that I remember seeing. Then like more in Wayne's Brothers, Moesha, the Parker, My Wife and Kids later on, and Jamie Foxx show came on this channel called Trouble. And you not know from UK about that channel Trouble. So Jamie Foxx show was one of those ones I remember watching it back to back with William Brothers when I actually it was before I would head to school. It would show it in a time slot of 7 to 8 back to back episodes. One episode of Jamie Foxx show, one episode of Wayne Brothers. So I just remember, and I remember when I saw this Jamie Foxx on Howard Stern, I was like, I definitely got to do a review today. So yes, yeah, without further ado, this is going to be the review. Long away Jamie Foxx show review. Honestly, I'm just gonna get some water because we live. All right. So where to begin? So I'll give you my backstory with just before we start about the Foxx show, Jamie Foxx in general. Jamie Foxx to me first came to my attention. It possibly would be in Living Color. In Living Color was one of those series that I actually saw probably in the just the tail end of the nineties because they would show reruns of In Living Color back in Europe because again, so many stars had exploded. Like, a lot of people who are fans of In Living Color, they know that. Like Jim Carrey came from the show, Tommy Davidson, of course, the Wayans brothers, Jamie Foxx, of course, talking about, and Jim Carrey. I may have mentioned him already, but Jim Carrey came from it. So many stars exploded from the In Living Color series, which I still think is probably this and the Chappelle Show, probably one of the best sketch comedy series of all time from this series, they would always show this like reruns because just to see like where the origins of like where did Jimmy Fox come from, where did Jennifer Lopez, where did like Jim Carrey originate from. So I remember seeing In Living Color, and what I always loved about In Living Color so much was the slam dunk, cool music performances at the end. That time from again that classic time when you had like Criss Cross John, you had Brand Nubian, you had Naughty by Nature, hey, ho, hey. You had like Pete Rock and CL Smooth. So you had all those dynamite rap artists, a third base, depending on Living Color. So I remember always seeing this show, and I remember Jamie Foxx specifically because he was playing the the cross-dressing character Wanda. If you don't know, Wanda was like it basically like a version of Shireen that Martin Lawrence played in the Martin series. Jamie Foxx played Wanda in these sketch fights, and she would always appear just randomly in these sketches that sometimes had like nothing to do with Wanda. She would like just appear in it, and the fans would go bananas. So I remember seeing Jamie Foxx there. I think after that, forgive me for this. It was the Booty Call film. I remember. I don't know if it was my parents or like my aunties or uncles. They had the Booty Call cassette. This was back in 1997, so time ago. So they had the Booty Call VHS cassette, and again, I was maybe watching this way too young, but Booty Call, watch it now. It's more comedic than like sexual. Ain't more comedy. So I remember seeing Jamie Foxx then, and I was just enamored by like his impressions, his charisma, just that vibrant personality. And even when I saw him then, like when I was like just in elementary school, as they call it there, primary school, as they call it there. I just remember seeing like this guy has what it takes to be a star, and thus past he ended up becoming like one of the biggest stars say for like Hollywood. He win an Oscar, hooray! But that's like my history, like on Jamie Foxx. Let's go now on to the Jamie Foxx show. We live, we live, we live, we live. Okay, all right. So I'll read like again Wikipedia's article. So the Jamie Foxx Show is an American sitcom that aired on WB from August 20th, 1986 to January 14th, 2001. Series stars Jamie Foxx, Garcelle Beauvais, Christopher B. Duncan, Ellia English, Garrett Morris. Although the show was not a major success with the ratings due to the WB being a relatively new network, the show did help launch. This is important, folks. Did help launch Fox's acting career while also relaunching Morris's career after his 1994 shooting. Ooh, the less we talk about, the better. It also served as a launch pad for Beauvais, who later starred in ABC's NYCPD Blue. Yes, yes, yes. So even though because what I will say from looking at the Jamie Foxx show, because yeah, I'm gonna go through like because I'm doing it live and I'm gonna really freestyle this honestly, which I love. I feel like I'm a natural freestyler, don't you? You know. So I'm gonna give you my opinion overall of the show at the end. But at that time, I keep saying, and when Jamie Foxx show that debuted in 1996, it had to compete with the Wayne brothers. I believe the last season or more. In Living Single was at this time. What was it? You had the Parkers. I think came in late. Moesha was there. I think Rock finished earlier, and there was a sometimes some of the ones I can't think of are mine. I said Living Single. I think you had Parenthood, Family Matters, of course. Family Matters went to 1998. So that's only the black sitcoms I can remember off the top of my head, and maybe not even just black sitcoms, but sitcoms in general. There was a heap of competition at this time. And if it wasn't like spectacular, like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air or Martin, some of them kind of got lost in the shuffle. And I feel that's what they're saying with Jamie Foxx. So it was really a good vehicle for launching Jamie Foxx. But again, like the show is probably not on, maybe not rated as well as like a Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but we're gonna get into it. So Jamie Foxx in this series, he plays Jamie, I believe it's King. Yeah, Jamie King. So they say Jamie King, he's basically playing himself, Jamie Foxx. He's like an aspiring musician from Texas who has come to Los Angeles to pursue a career in entertainment. To support himself, he works at his family hotel. So like they work at, he works at the family hotel is like that main setting as well. In that sitcom set, you pretty much see them in the hotel from where he's staying, from where he's working under like the King's Tower as well, which is owned by his aunt and uncle. That's Garrett Morris character and Ellia English originally do it. So like Garrett Morris, if you know, of course, he was in Martin. He was Stan Martin's boss in the radio station. Around the time in between, this is he left the season three. I think he appeared in one episode in season three, but he was a series regular in the morning. Around that 93, 94, there was a incident, like a shooting, which I'm not gonna go deep into. I'll put a link. You can go check that out. But because of that, he was kind of exiled from not just the morning series, but you could say like the entertainment industry. And for maybe for a small period of time, he got blackballed. Him coming in here kind of like resurrected his career, where he did an excellent performance. He kind of brought his character Stan into this setting, which is great. And you've seen Garrett Morris, who was a sensational comedian from like SNL days, all the way to see him in Two Broke Girls in this day and age. So it's nice to see him nice to see him being back in this series, which is great. Honestly, cannot talk about the Jamie Foxx show with the beautiful, stunning, oh, whoa, whoa, Garcelle Beauvais. Hamina, 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 hamina. My gosh, yeah. So with Garcelle Beauvais, the first time I ever saw, and I think this is a lot of people, seeing as I'm like staring, a lot of people first locked their eyes on the beautiful Garcelle Beauvais when being coming to America. We all know which scene we're talking about. But Garcelle Beauvais, who also another actress I talked about, Victoria Dillard, she appeared in this scene. The ones who are dropping like the rose petals each time the Highness, Eddie Murphy or Arsenio Hall or the King, James Earl Jones would walk. So yeah, Garcelle Beauvais, that was the first time I'd ever seen her in that. And then she was doing many guest stars throughout the late 80s to the early 90s, many appearances in Family Matters. There's that episode in Fresh Prince of Bel Air when Will's trying to get her when he's in school. I'm sure she appeared in Living Single somewhere. She appeared in the Wayans brothers as Sean's girlfriend in one episode. But she was bouncing through many sitcoms, just as a lot of those actresses, this beautiful, gorgeous actress just like herself were, and she was able to secure this role in Jamie Foxx show. And I really love the dynamic between them. I think that's what really probably really sells the series is the chemistry between Jamie and Garcelle Beauvais in this, because when they first come in, they're like I wouldn't say they're necessarily enemies like how Pam and Morton are in the Morton series, but it's like they like me. They like each other, but they don't want to show it. They don't want to present. They don't want someone to concede. And it's only towards the final climax seasons that they actually do get together. But yeah, their whole like jokes and their whole again that chemistry is just a strong it's just a strong sense of a lot of comedy that happens from them too as well. And as I said, Garcelle was like they always say like Karen Parsons from Fresh Prince, like she was the most dynamite babe from like the sitcoms at that time. But Garcelle Beauvais was hot, still is hot today in her 50s, without a doubt. So, man, so you got them two in the lead pretty much, like lead actor Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is playing Jamie King, and then you got Garcelle Beauvais is playing Fancy. I fancy Garcelle Beauvais. Let me clip this, put this on TikTok. You heard? So after that, you got Christopher B. Duncan, who I don't even got to check this, who's playing Braxton. Braxton always felt it always felt like he was a just maybe a different no not a different version, just a version of Arsenio Hall. What am I talking about? A version of Alfonso Ribeiro's Carlton Banks from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Just minus the high, minus the square high top, Alfonso and the Tom Jones dancing, Christopher B. Duncan, Braxton. It took so much of what made us love Carlton when the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Excuse me, let me get some water. And yeah, so Braxton, he similar how Carlton was like Will's rival in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air early seasons. That's what happens in the premise in the Jamie Foxx show. Braxton is like the rival to Jamie King's like because Jamie King's he's coming from Texas. It's like he's got the aspirations and the ambitions to be a star. And when he comes in there, it's like he kind of shows off kind of too much to like Braxton, who he's working up the corporate ladder to possibly own this hotel, probably like to grow and like develop his career there. So you got like the corporate guy versus like the entertainer, and they don't really mix too well. So they have a great like one upship between each other, and it's great. And it's just similar how their relationship between Will and Carl in the Fresh Prince. Braxton and Jamie slowly near towards the end they start to bond. They start to become more friends than rivals. And yeah, I just love that whole skit when like Jamie puts the the gag I should say. Jamie puts the hand in Braxton's face and go to this film as well. So it's great. And of course, if you haven't already, definitely it's up on YouTube. There's an episode where I believe, yeah, I can remember it. Braxton, Jamie, I believe he doesn't have a place to stay, and they are both sharing an apartment. So they're both sharing an apartment as well, and they have a dance off. They have a dance off in the apartment, and it goes so wild that Braxton he like breaks a glass and he puts like the Michael Jackson glove and he does the most craziest MJ moves and he destroys Jamie. Like who would have saw it coming as well? So that's like one of the most classic episodes, and I really love. It would have been nice to see more of Christopher B. Duncan. I do remember him having a interview on Comedy Hype, where honestly if you're if you want to know more about like his career, he talks about like why we didn't see so much of him like after the Jamie Foxx show. Definitely check that out. But I think he does well in this series. He's the perfect glue into like seeing like Fancy and Jamie's characters. So that's like the three ones, and of course you got Garrett Morris, which I already talked about, and you got Ellia English, who is playing. Let's check that. Ellia English is playing Aunt Helen. So Jamie's aunt as well, and Aunt Helen is. I'm not gonna say similar because there's a lot of parallels between this show and the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I'm trying to say Aunt Helen is like Vivian, but I believe there's two characters. For me, when I see Aunt Helen, Elliot English playing her, she's very warm, very collected. She's more similar to the mother in Family Matters. I believe. Laura Winslow's mother, who two actresses end up playing her. She reminds me of her, just very warm. She's with the family. She wants to see Jamie's aspirations of becoming an entertainer, becoming a singer. She wants to see that, and of course, support him as well. So she really maintains that whole family that kind of vibe in the hotel. So it's pretty great. Let's continue. Let's go. Oh, we learn. Mm. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. If you haven't already, I'm gonna stop to say. I'm gonna say please, please, please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you already haven't. Also, I gotta give a shout out to a few other YouTubers that honestly they give me the motivation to still make these reviews as well. That will be definitely GQ Jamal, who's done a lot of collabs. Honestly, keep up the excellent videos, bro. You're gonna hit a milestone soon. Keep on here, keep on going for it, man. And the other two is definitely Struggle Reviews, who I got onto her content just last year, and I really love her movie reviews. They're really, they're really. She puts her own style and her own quality in, so I really love her. We've had messages like on YouTube, and I really appreciate the support as well. And the other one is a Black Media Cave. He's a brother who I've been watching his excellent reviews, kind of like similar. We all do like retrospective reviews, so I really encourage if you like my content, definitely go subscribe to them for sure. But let's continue back on the Jimmy Fox show. So like if we go on like I'm gonna try to go like with what I remember, just like the other sitcoms at the time. As I said, like Fresh Prince Martin, because I believe Fresh Prince just finished in '96 at this time when they started, and Martin was probably in the last season, the season five, the greatest season. So at this time, as many of the sitcoms, you had a lot of guest stars. I cannot, I will see if I can name all of them, but From the ones I remember, you got Kenya Moore, Kalita Smith, who was in the Bernie Mac show. I remember she was Fantasy's main friend. You had Ronna Bennett. Yes, okay, yes. I definitely before I go on all this like talk about the guest stuff. Ronna Bennett. She that was the fine chocolate sister who appears in the later season. We're doing it live. She appears in the later season. Ronna Bennett, who's playing the character of Nicole Evans, seasons 4 to season 5, who kind of similar with Fancy in the beginning. Fancy and Jamie's relationship. That Fancy just thinks Jamie's a goofball, like that is corny. Nicole Ronda's character, she has this kind of back and forth with Jamie because they're in the season 4. Jamie is working in this. I believe it's not a studio, but it's like a executive for a company, for a song company, a music company. I will see if I can put this there. But they're employees and they're all working together. And Nicole's working there and Jamie's working there. And again, they cannot stand each other. One believes they sing better, one believes they have more talent. Baga baga baga. So they're all together working. And later on, they start to get more closer. They start working long hours. I believe the boss ends up putting them like on like trips to go together because they're like their best employees there, and they start to get closer together, and it becomes this kind of love triangle between Jamie, Nicole, and also Fancy towards towards like the climax of the season, as I remember, and I really like that because for the beginning of the series, it's pretty much just Jamie and Fancy. Like there's other girls who appears in the series, and again other guys who appears for Fancy, but for the whole series, it's pretty much the relationship between Garcelle Beauvais and Jamie Foxx, Jamie and Fancy. So when Rhonda comes in, and she kind of like adds this kind of friction between the relationship. I thought it was pretty fantastic. And of course, I'm gonna mention the upper like supporting characters. You have Mouse, where is Mouse? Mouse played by Sully McCullough, and you also got Alex Thomas as Phil. So this is when this is the 4th season. So as I remember, and again, guys, if you've seen the Jamie Foxx show, please correct me. I know the first to possibly the third, 4th season, Jamie Foxx is pretty much just in a hotel. In a hotel, he's doing auditions, he's trying to get his music thing going on. For the first 3 seasons, pretty much primarily a hotel. I believe it's in the 4th, 5th seasons when he has that job in that that music industry organization company, and that's where Mouse and also Alex, Mouse and also Phil, sorry, Mouse and also Phil are working alongside him there as well. So for me personally, I do prefer the later seasons of the Jamie Foxx show because it was something different. Because for a while, it did get tired just always seeing at the hotel, kind of similar like in Fresh Prince of Bel Air, when it was just always in the mansion. I loved how it was like in Morton, where it changed from in Morton, it was the radio station. Then Morton had the TV series Word on the Street, and then later you could say I believe in the 5th season they end up it's the climax season, of course, due to the problems with the heated tension on the Morning set. Morning and Tisha Campbell couldn't be on the set, but there was always an evolution to the Morning series, whereas I think Fresh Prince didn't have that as much per se. But I really liked in Jamie Foxx show that they changed the setting within the later seasons of it, and yeah, I really love his supporting character, these supporting actors in Mouse and also Phil. They bring a lot of and they're comedians, they're stand-up comedians, and I believe they're also writers as well who kind of work even today in comedy. So they're great. So let's even talk about the music. Of course, I always mention the music in this series is I love the intro to this. It's like here I come, here I come, here I come. Like the night, like the death, not to go. I don't know the lyrics, but I'll keep on singing for you. Something like that. But Jamie Foxx does it, of course, much better than me. But I remember that intro, and I know they just like the other comment sitcoms at that time. They did kind of evolve the series intro. So, and it's the same one that plays on the outro within the main series. Within the main the main episodes. Within the main episodes, I believe it's a kind of combination of more, I would say more R&B than rap music. Like, just speaking about Fresh Prince, Fresh Prince was like 100%, like, maybe not 100, let's say maybe 80%, like rap music. Like, that was the Naughty by Nature, the DJ That's a different Fresh Prince. So you had a lot of rap influence. Because Jamie Foxx is definitely more that R&B type of dude. I feel like that's put more into this series. And if you don't believe me, there is an excellent episode, as I was talking in the later seasons, where Jamie Foxx is working with Ronna Nicole, and they have this like Christmas kind of sing off. Yeah, I can probably say sing off, like a classic episode. It's on YouTube now. It's great seeing their vocals and how they can sing and put that note all the way to the top. So I really do love that they mixture a lot of more R&B. Then, because I'm a rap head, I love rap, but the R&B that was very big at this time, it was great. Honestly, this being infused more than like kind of voice to man. You could say maybe that Color Me Bad was more into this Kevin Campbell, I could say as well. And yeah, and it's great. And the guest stars, honestly, I honestly I may have to do another video on just saying like the guest stars as well. But like some of the ones I remember, like social officers, I remember when Robert England appeared in here from Nightmare on Elm Street. I believe there's this auction, but he appears in, and it's so strange seeing Robert Englund without the Freddy Krueger makeup. And what was crazy is I remember when I was watching Jamie Foxx show, I had just seen, I think, the Dream Warriors around this time. Again, watching it way too young. I was way too young to be watching like Freddy Krueger at that time, and I remember seeing that. I was putting it together. That's funny. So Robert England appeared, of course. One of the most fantastic cameos. He also did a great cameo. More and was Mark Curry, who appeared in the episode where I believe Jamie and also Braxton. I don't believe Fancy was there, but they had to go to. I believe it was not driving eds, or they got speeding tickets. I believe so. They had to spend the day at like the DMV, or how they call it in the States. And Mark Curry is just this disgruntled, like spoon up his ass, like he's not taking no prisoners, and he really gets into the face of Jamie and Braxton, and it's a highlight. It's a highlight of the series, and it's really nice because it was another sitcom I forgot to mention, of course, Hanging Mr. Cooper, who I believe would have been in their fourth, coming towards their last season. I believe it finished 1997. And yeah, his performance, Mark Curry, who I believe is very underrated. I know Mr. Cooper, especially the first season, which I checked my channel. I reviewed that like many years ago. That was my first review. A little history on that. I believe that series is amazing, and I think Mark Curry, for what he did in his guest spots like here in the morning series, was absolutely fantastic. And that episode is probably one of the best highlights from here. I remember Ice Cube, and I can't remember the other. It may have been Nate Dogg. I may be wrong. Yeah, correct me if you can. But Ice Cube appears in this, and I think for honestly, this is probably the first time I've ever seen Ice Cube appear in those TV sitcoms. There, honestly. So I remember there was this kind of like pool party in the hotel, and I believe the auntie Ellia English, what's the name? Ellia English, and also yeah, Ellia English playing and Garrett Morris. I think they were away, and they end up having like a pool party. And Ice Cube brings up all these those video vixens to film. Yes, I remember it was to film that music video. So that was another highlight video. So again, it's a show that I've only seen. Yeah, my gosh, I think I've seen fully like only two times. It's something I would love to rewatch again, but like I remember just these moments in the episode. So yeah, it's definitely. So yeah, so honestly, I can't believe 5 minutes already gone. So man, like let's grade this. All right. So in conclusion, like the Jamie Foxx show, all right. So I would say the positives in this series is Jamie Foxx. I think again, this was a big breakout for him because at the time, just before this, he was only known pretty much as Wanda in *In Living Color*. He was part of the supporting actors in the *In Living Color* series. Once he actually came in and was able to headline this show, again, Hollywood saw him. He started acting in movies straight after yeah, Any Given Sunday, which came out in 1999, was maybe in the first season of this. I believe because they saw, this series, they saw his, because he's a talented guy. He can sing, he can act, he can do comedy, he can dance. He was getting movie roles such as this. He had I think it was Breaking Down the Rules with Gabrielle Union, a nice comedy movie in this time. And then in 2004, not so soon after this series ended, he ended up winning an Oscar for Ray. So it was a big breakout for Jamie Foxx, and I like him because he's more mature than Will is in this early season of Fresh Prince. Jamie King is more like the Will you see in the season 4 and season 5 when you first see him, and again possibly because of the age when you see him. Maybe Jamie Foxx I think was late 20s and Will was probably early. Will was early 20s when he first did that. So he's a more mature guy, still goofy, still charismatic, still funny, but Jamie has a lot of likability. I don't think anyone really has a bad thing to say about him. And I think what really, again, the positive of the series is definitely the chemistry between Fancy and Jamie. Again, like she's a super. Like when you really look back, you really look like, man, Garcelle Beauvais is like super fine in this, honestly. And it's like it's that hot girl you want to be with, but you don't want to. What they're doing is like Jamie Foxx, like you want me, and Garcelle Fancy's like he wants me. So that's how it is pretty much until towards they can't fight the temptations anymore. So which is great. So those are the main positives. Um, I would say, oh, like the mix, or if we say, let's say, I'd say the mix aspect is if you've seen Fresh Prince of Bel Air and you've seen like Colton and the relationship between Will, you could say like it is maybe a ripoff seeing Jamie and Braxton kind of relationship because Braxton is that uh, preppy kind of bourgeois uh, black guy, but what he's basically Tom from like the Boondocks. This is Tom before we saw what in the Boondocks. That's been their version of him. So and Alfonso Ribeiro probably was the first Tom character in the sitcom format. So maybe if you have seen that, you may be like, oh, this is a knockoff, or vice versa. You could look at that and say, this is probably an homage to the relationship between Will and Carton. Now it's Jamie and Braxton in here. So that would be maybe it could be like the next aspect only. And then I would say probably like the negatives from this series is maybe not really too much emotional moments. I would say why I've always ranked like Fresh Prince the best, hands down, regardless of what you think of Will Smith now. Talk about like breakouts, like that really helped him. But Fresh Prince was best because it balanced the comedy, the drama, it balanced the messages as well. Like you should about like a dad leaving and say no to drugs, gambling. In some shape or form they always had episodes that focused on this, like this is what you shouldn't do, whereas Jamie Foxx just feels like it's a complete comedic show as well. You're not going to take it seriously, and even as Maureen, honestly. And I'll say this because I've done reviews, single episodes of Maureen, and I will say as comedic and as funny as Maureen series is, it does have some serious moments. I'll give you examples. Like when Martin left the radio station in season two, when he left that, he threw the radio after Stan went, and he went like he split because he didn't know what to do. He had no job, and that was real shit. Honestly, he was confused. He hit a run. There's so I could relate to so much that was real issues that men have to deal with. Or when he was going to propose to his wife, but he didn't have enough money to teach him. So that was real elements that adults could relate to that. Whereas I feel the Jamie Foxx show didn't have so much of that moment. It had it sometimes here and there between the relationships of like I would definitely say between let me get her name up again. We got bum, 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 Ronna Bennett, Nicole Evans, and then you got Fancy. And Jamie Foxx was trying to see like who I'm gonna choose. We've got these two beautiful women, but which one can I see myself with? And he ends up going for Fancy. So you could, some shape or form, some people can relate to that. But he didn't have those much of those emotional moments that Fresh Prince of Bel Air had, or you could say Different World had, or even Living Single as well. And that would be my overall negatives. But to be honest, if I had to give this a grade, as I always do, 5 stars, I would give Jamie Foxx show maybe a solid, I'd say 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's a series that I think and I go back because of the likability of Jamie Foxx. I think you will definitely dig this show. I think if you're coming for Jamie Foxx, you'll love the show. If for some reason you don't like Jamie Foxx, maybe the show may not be for you because it is his humor, it is his show. So you gotta be down for that. But I'm a fan of Jamie Foxx. Honestly, from the day I think he's a super talented. I think it was so cool seeing him in the Marvel universe playing Electro. Honestly, he really bossed that role. He slayed that. So it's so nice seeing him from there to where his career is gone to now, just like how Will Smith is. And I've always seen Jamie Foxx as um, just under like Will Smith as the top like leading black actors. Like Denzel's there, of course. Will Smith. I always figured like Jamie Foxx is like the number three, honestly, because he's carried movies like Django and Change, and one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies, all time, honestly, just maybe behind Pulp Fiction as well. So I think he's tremendous and he's super talented, super charismatic, and so that's my whole review. I feel let me get some more water, man. Yeah, so that's my review on the Jamie Foxx show. Folks, let me know what you think about the series. It lasted for 5 seasons, debuted in 1996. Last season was in 2001. Let me know what you think about again just the series, the sitcoms that came out around this time. Because as I said, there's so many from Hanging Mr. Cooper to Living Single to I think the Parkers came on this time. And honestly, this is probably another video that I would love to make about like where the sitcoms went from the 2000s. Because the 2000s, I believe those sitcoms sort of changed from to he went from the Jamie Foxx shows and Behind Mr. Cooper, Living Singles to like the One on Ones, the Bernie Mac, the My Wife and Kids, and the Hewleys as well. So maybe that could be a video down the line. But definitely let me know what you think of Jamie Foxx as an actor, his career coming from like the early stages of In Living Color, having his own series, and then becoming this like movie star at the end. Let me know what you think of Finance, Garcelle Beauvais playing Fancy in this, and also the supporting characters, Ellia English, Garrett Morris, Christopher B. Duncan, Braxton, and there's a lot more supporting characters as well. Honestly, I feel like if I was to name all of them, it would probably take an extra video. It's a series, as I've said, I've only watched it 2 times fully. I would love to rewatch it again, definitely, if it ever comes on television. I would love to like watch it again. But yeah, from what I know, this is definitely a part of my childhood, and yeah, honestly, I said I'll give it 3.5 stars out of 5. But let me know what you think. Put all your comments down in the comment section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we are in the midpoint of 2023, and I'm gonna say what I've been saying from 2022. Get your paper right and update your wallet. And Richie Rich is